It was supposed to be a new era. The Chicago Sky had a fresh face of the franchise in Angel Reese, a name as polarizing as it is powerful in women's basketball. Brash, confident, and unapologetically herself, Reese had stepped into the WNBA spotlight with the kind of noise reserved for generational prospects. But what unfolded in Los Angeles wasn't the arrival of a superstar. It was a humbling, a cold, calculated dismantling delivered not by hype or headlines, but by someone who's been through the fire and come out sharper. Kelsey Plum, Reese had the stat line. Another double-double, 13 points, 12 rebounds. On paper, it looked solid, respectable, even promising. But basketball isn't played on paper, and this wasn't a video game. This was the real world, and what actually happened on that court told a different story. The Chicago Sky got waxed by an injury-riddled Los Angeles Sparks team, losing 91-78 in a game that was never close when it mattered. Plum? She didn't just play well, she dominated, she embarrassed. And somewhere in the aftermath of a too-small taunt and a flurry of three-pointers, Angel Reese went from rising star to walking meme. The numbers lie when context gets left out. Reese shot 5 of 11 from the floor, which isn't horrible unless you watch the game. Half of her rebounds came from her own misses. Layup after layup bounced off the rim like she was playing with a weighted ball. Her energy wasn't translating to points. It was translating to frustration. Not just for fans, but for her teammates. In several possessions, you could literally see them pleading for the ball, wide open, arms raised, while Reese put her head down and barreled into the paint, forcing up tough shots instead of making the simple play. This wasn't just a bad shooting night. It was the continuation of a trend. In the game prior against the Liberty, Reese went 0 for 8. Her lone made 3 this season. A single basket over 4 games. That's not growth, that's stagnation. And the frustration is now written all over the Sky's faces. Kelsey Plum, standing all of 5'8", isolated at the top of the key against Reese, who has her by at least 8 inches. One dribble, then another. Plum blows past her like she's standing still and lays it in. But she doesn't stop there. No, Plum turns, extends her arm low, palm flat, and gives Reese the too small taunt, the universal sign for humiliation on the hardwood. In that instant, it wasn't just a point on the scoreboard. It was a message, a statement, and the crowd loved it. Social media exploded.
Memes, reactions, highlights. The WNBA itself reposted the clip. Even the Sparks official account threw shade, proudly celebrating Plum's guts and swagger. The league wasn't just endorsing Plum's brilliance, they were laughing right
along with her. That's what happens when hype meets reality, and reality isn't kind. While Plum dropped 28 points on 9 of 18 shooting, including 6 from deep, Reese's impact felt hollow. Even with 12 rebounds, her inability to convert close-range opportunities rendered much of her effort meaningless. She padded stats. Plum won the game. This wasn't a fluke either. It's been brewing. The Sky have now lost 3 straight to open the season. They haven't won a game since September of last year, spanning 2 seasons. That's 8 straight losses. For a team that was supposed to be rebranding, rebuilding, and re-energizing its fan base, it's been nothing short of a disaster. And fans aren't shy about it. They've labeled the Sky a meme team. Not out of disrespect, but out of exhaustion. Every game plays like a repeat of the last. Missed layups, confused rotations, coaching decisions that make 0 sense, and players running around like they just met. There's no system, no identity, just chaos. Angel Reese, whether fairly or not, has become the face of that chaos. And it doesn't help that Chicago mortgaged part of its future to try and fast-track success. They gave up the number 3 pick in the draft for Ariel Atkins, who's barely taking shots, let alone making them. They're starting Kia Nurse in 2025 like it's 2017. And their coach, Tyler Marsh, has become a target in every post-game discussion. His schemes look broken, his rotations feel random, and his team, they look lost. What makes all of this more painful for Sky fans is the contrast. While their team gets blown out by a Sparks squad missing multiple starters, the Indiana Fever, led by fellow rookie Caitlin Clark, are going toe-to-toe with championship contenders. In a recent game against the defending champion New York Liberty, Clark put up 18 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds. She nearly led her team to victory, losing by just 2 in the final seconds. Even when she struggles, Clark competes. She adjusts. She elevates the players around her. That's what leadership looks like. After the game, she didn't blame refs. She didn't blame teammates. She talked about needing to play 4 complete quarters. She talked about chemistry, responsibility, all the things that right now seem absent in Chicago. Coach Stephanie White of the Fever went to bat for her players, calling out a 31 free throw discrepancy over the last few games. Her tone was measured but firm. She demanded better from the league. Not because she wanted to make excuses, but because her team had earned respect. It's a stark contrast to the vibes coming out of Chicago. Where the Fever are building something, the Sky are spiraling. Where Indiana is competing, Chicago is folding. It's not even close. And that's where the Angel Reese hype train starts to derail. You can't call yourself a rival to Caitlin Clark if your stats don't translate to wins. You can't play the victim while hoarding minutes, ignoring teammates, and forcing up low-efficiency shots. You can't lead when you don't defend. And right now, Reese doesn't defend. She doesn't close out. She doesn't rotate. Her teammates are visibly annoyed. Her coach looks overwhelmed. And fans have seen enough. Every night becomes a repeat of the last. A few rebounds, some putbacks, a couple of forced layups, and then the wheels fall off. And meanwhile, Kelsey Plum, a real vet with championship pedigree, keeps cooking. She took an elbow to the nose in this game and still came back to finish strong. That's toughness. That's what leaders do. And unlike the circus unfolding in Chicago, she's part of a team with a plan. The Sparks didn't even have Cameron Brink. They didn't have their full arsenal. But what they had was a point guard who knows how to control a game, a system that emphasized smart decision-making, and a culture that's clearly intact. Chicago, by comparison, is just vibes, and not the good kind. Some people will say it's too early to judge, that it's only a few games into the season, but the signs are already there. Body language doesn't lie. This team looks defeated. Before the opening tip, they look like they're counting down the clock instead of trying to make plays. And if that doesn't change fast, this season could go from bad to historic in all the wrong ways. Meanwhile, the WNBA is leaning into these narratives. They see the virality, the engagement, the headlines. Kelsey Plum taunting Angel Reese is a moment that sells tickets, drives debates, and the league loves it.